This is Katie with Homeschool Chat, and today we're going to talk about homeschool awkwardness, social awkwardness. This is a real thing. Now, if you have a homeschool group that you are a part of, this may not ever come up. It depends on the homeschool group, just how it's arranged and who's in the homeschool group. But I found that homeschool children from kindergarten through high school, all the way to 12th grade, can have this social awkwardness. And what I want to talk about is how to deal with it. So, as a family, you're like a tribe, right? Like a tribe of people. As a family, you have your own ways of communicating, your own little jokes, your own hierarchy. And your child, from the time that they're born until the time that they move out, they get used to the way that your tribe works. When you start to homeschool, there are less outside influences. So let's say that you are part of a homeschool group and you meet once a week. That seems pretty good, right? Especially, now I'm talking especially to people that are homeschooling on their own. There are homeschool groups that they're kind of more like what do they call it? I forgot the word, where parents are involved in the school work of their children, like a co-op, that's what they're called. Anyway, if you're in a co-op homeschool group that's large, you'll probably not find this an issue. This especially becomes an issue if you are very rural and you have a farm or something like that, and you're trying to do your life. It also comes into play for in-town people. It just depends on what's going on. So let's say that you have a homeschool group that's once a week. Once a week is good. It also depends on what everything else that you're doing. You meet with your homeschool group. Let's say your homeschool group is small. Then your child learns to deal with that tribe. And they do this, without really thinking about it. They learn to communicate, to the hierarchy of that homeschool group, and they learn to maneuver in that homeschool group. If your child is in a homeschool group that is more of a co-op, then there's social stuff going on all the time. Now, that being said, as a parent teacher, you're probably running your children around all the time to do activities and to do classes. Some homeschool parents do not want to do that. Some homeschool parents want more intimacy. So how do you get the intimacy of homeschooling without having your child go into a public situation and not know what to do, and so they cannot speak properly, or they get super embarrassed and super shy, and they shouldn't because they're too old, that kind of thing? There's a balance, and the balance is something that you have to pay attention to. Sometimes once a week homeschool group is totally fine, especially if you're involved in a church and church activities or sports of some kind. Then it kind of can round itself out. If you're rural and your child is not into sports or into some hobby where they're in a position of socializing with people from all areas, from all backgrounds, then you may find that your child starts to struggle being in situations they're not used to. And if that's the case, that's your signal that you need to give your child more social time. Social time away from your immediate family, social time that is more than you've been giving your child. So here are some suggestions. And I have a background being a rural homeschool teacher. So my viewpoint is slanted toward the fact that it's a long ways into town. It takes a long time to drive into town, and I have a lot of work to do. So that's where my slant is. You have to take your own life into consideration, and consider what you have to deal with and what you want. That's what homeschooling does. It gives you the freedom to make the choices that you want. So if what you are doing is not enough to give your child, your child is socially awkward and you want to stop that, then think about something that your child is interested in and possibly put your child into a program that they're interested in. My child, well, if I combine all of my children, they've done bowling, they've done swimming, we're not real sporty people, so there was no track or baseball or basketball, anything like that. Ballet, so that dance. Let's see, what else? Rock club, we did rock club, and we're very involved in our church. That being said, I think that my children are fairly balanced and well-rounded. You also will notice, if you're afraid that you won't notice if your child is socially awkward, people come up to you and make comments. They really do. You wouldn't think they would, but they do. And so that's a signal if you think, oh my gosh, I don't know if my child is socially awkward or not. It'll come up. It may come up just to the child, it may come up to you, but so don't worry about it too much. All it is exposing your child to a broader group of people so that they can learn how to communicate with different styles of people, if that's the right way of putting it, and characters, different characters. So that is about all I have for today, and thank you for watching this video. Have a blessed day.